I've had these seats in this car for a few years now. I actually bought them secondhand from a friend of a friend. I paid $300 with the harnesses that I no longer have in here because they expired. But these are the Corbeau Fx1s. They're fixed back. As I got more into driving this thing on the street and I realized I don't track it as much as I thought I was going to, I kind of hate them now. Mostly because of the kind of high side bolsters. It's really kind of a pain to get in and out of this thing. And I like something that I could kind of recline just slightly, aside from just having like the fixed back. Obviously with the harness bar, you can't go back too far, but it will be a little bit better than just having a fixed back. Other thing is these seats are pretty damn old. They're kind of faded. You can see they kind of have this purple tint to them. All of the, or at least most of the pass-throughs here for the harness, they broke. And you could get replacements for them. You can actually get replacement seat covers, but I spoke to Corbeau and the price of the covers with the cushions and everything, I actually replaced these two. You can see these are a little blacker than those two over there. They told me you're better off just buying a whole nother seat. So I'm gonna be swapping these out for a reclining back, a little less aggressive seat that's gonna be better for daily driving. All right, so any of you guys who follow me on Instagram, I posted a pic of these a few weeks ago when they came in. And I'm very excited for these. I already sat in them. And they are way more comfortable than what's in there now. So these are Corbeau RRS Sportlines. It's a vinyl seat. These they actually make in leather and I think vinyl. I think those are the only two materials they make them in. This style, they only make in vinyl. At least that's what they have displayed on their website. If you get the leather, they have the Corbeau up here in white, and this is a little bit different. I was kind of on the fence on which one to get, and then my friend actually pointed it out that this looks like a really nice, kind of like an 80s seat with this pattern here. And then I looked on Corbeau's website, and I saw them in some cars, and I just loved them from there on out. They just look like they're gonna look perfect in the car. They feel great. The material is actually really good. You wouldn't even think this was a vinyl. It's more of like a synthetic leather. It's not like, you know, old vinyl stuff of the 60s and 70s where it just flat out looks like plastic. This actually looks really, really good. I love just having the Corbeau just kind of hidden in there, not sticking out too much. The bolsters on the bottom are pretty low, which I wanted, but then when we come back to the side, it has a lot of bolster. So that's gonna hold you in place and still make it easy to get in and out of the car. Obviously, they are reclining, so I can tip the back where I want it. And then for the backs, they have this nice kind of soft carbon weave pattern going on. And along with these, I did pick up a pair of sliders because right now I have a 4th gen slider on this side, but the whole reason I went and put that seat brace is because the slider has a little bit of play in it. So I figured the Corbeau slider is probably gonna be the lowest I'm gonna be able to get. It's gonna be a direct fit for those seats and it should tighten this up a lot. The other side, I just have a regular 3rd gen slider, but the thing is like totally just seized up. The seat barely moves forward anymore. So I'm gonna go pull these out. I just gotta slip the harness out on this side, then it's just 4 13 millimeters, they'll pop right out. Then we'll get to opening up these guys, bolting them to the seats, and it should just be a drop-in deal. Here's our driver's seat. We want the recliner lever on the outside. Oh, it comes with bolts. Nice. Beautiful. All right. So I think what I'm going to do is probably run the seat belt through here. But other than that, they fit pretty damn good. It's a little close to the harness here, but I have to kind of get everything where I want it. Right away though, it's so much easier to get in and out of here. It's a little far back. When I'm actually driving, I'll probably bring it up a tick. But damn, just getting in and out without having that giant bolster, that makes such a huge freaking difference. All right, so here they are, both installed. Other side took me maybe 10 minutes. It was easier because I didn't have to fish the harness out of the seat on that side. I just literally unbolted it and that was it. They fit really, really good. I love the way that the lines there kind of match the door panel. And I'm gonna redo these in black. I'm also getting rid of that steering wheel, and the radio is getting changed. There's gonna be a little other odds and ends that I'm gonna do, but those are kind of the primary things I have going on right now that I have planned. The shift boot is also gonna get changed. You can see on the passenger side as well. It's a little close to the bar, but this foam doesn't really have to be here. If the foam wasn't actually on there, we'd have a good maybe inch and a half. Same for the other side. The recline goes back far enough where you're comfortable and it doesn't hit the harness bar, so that's actually perfect. I think the only thing I want to change is these belt receivers here. These are stock like early 4th gen buckles. And you can see they're just like awkwardly long. They're all the way up to the center console. I'm gonna see if I can either find something that's a little bit shorter. The problem is I can't go down too far because if you wanna move the seat up, then the thing's gonna disappear. You're not gonna be able to actually buckle the belt down. If I can't find an alternative, I might just spray them like satin black so they're not like this gray color that doesn't really match perfectly to the seat. Alright guys, driving around with the new seats. So much better than the old ones. I mean, before you were kind of just like in here like this, like you were in a kind of like a go-kart or something. Now I'm just kind of laid back, just casually driving and enjoying the car. It doesn't feel like I'm in race car mode 100% of the time. And not having those high bolsters at the bottom, I have my knee kind of resting on the center console. I'm more relaxed. It's just more of like a casual drive. The lumbar support is pretty good considering these don't come or have the option for the inflatable lumbar. They still feel good. They're a little bit firm, but you know, the seats are new. And also the side bolsters are absolutely fantastic. They pretty much hold you in the back the same way the old seats did, but you have more freedom where you're not just kind of locked into place, being the lower bolsters aren't as high. The only downside now is having these seats in here, everything else in the interior looks like shit. Like the door panels need to be redone. I gotta redo the center console. This steering wheel has to go now. It looks so out of place with the nicer seats. The seating position is absolutely perfect. I was afraid they were gonna be a little too high, but they do feel just slightly higher than the old ones, but not at all where my head's on the ceiling. I have a couple of inches of space there. And overall, honestly, it doesn't really make any sense, but the car just feels, I don't know if it's lighter, more maneuverable. It just feels like less of a serious, harsh driving experience, and I can just kind of throw it around, lay back. I mean, I have the seat kind of cocked back a little bit. There's plenty of movement there. So much more enjoyable the car is just by swapping those seats out. The other thing is with these new rails, the seat is just totally in place now. There's no more play in the old track. I don't have to use that seat brace anymore. So if you're looking for a pair of seats, I mean, unless you're trying to really shed every last pound, I don't know what the weight difference is between this and the fiberglass ones that I had in here. Obviously, those are probably lighter. But if you want to get something for the track and you're afraid that the reclinable seats might not hold you as well, definitely go for these. I mean, the comfort, it's definitely better over the fiberglass ones. Despite whatever the weight difference might be, having the reclinable back is so much better. And just, I think overall, being able to get in and out of the car so much easier without having that high bolster that's probably what I'm most happy about. It just makes the car so much more streetable, while also maintaining the control that the fixed back seat has, and also just looking absolutely beautiful. These kind of ribs in the seat match the door panels. So if you want to go check these seats out, I'm going to put a link to Corbeau's site down in the description. But for now, that is going to do it for this one, guys. Next video, we're going to be working on the Tahoe, changing out the shocks. So I'll see you in a few days.